Hey friends, welcome back to the Range of Reality. I'm your host, Jody Salerno. Today we're building real trail confidence, especially for those of you who hike or jog solo. Now I know a lot of you listening love being outdoors. You hike, you walk your dogs, you jog the same route every morning. You go camping with friends or even solo. And if you're anything like me, being out in nature is your reset button. It's where the noise shuts off and you can actually hear yourself think again. But here's the thing, the outdoors can also lull us into a false sense of safety. We think, I'm not in a city, I'm fine. Or, it's daylight, I'm fine. But danger doesn't just live in dark alleys or bad neighborhoods. It lives anywhere people get complacent, including your favorite trail. I'm going to give you a simple system you can remember and actually use. Mindset, movement, maps, and a must-have kit. You'll hear practical gear talk, how to keep from getting lost, what to do if you do get lost, hydration and nutrition that actually work, wildlife and environmental safety, injury prevention, field-tested solo tips. You can put to work today. The goal isn't paranoia, it's preparedness. Let's build you into the most capable person on the trail. Because I don't want you paranoid, I want you prepared. So grab your coffee, tighten your bootlaces, and let's head out together. But before we do, let me tell you about my sponsor. If you ever have to defend yourself, the fight doesn't end when the threat is gone. Legal trouble, court cost, lost wages, it all adds up fast. And that's where the United States Concealed Carry Association comes in. They provide award-winning self-defense training and education. But more than that, they've secured liability insurance for their members that helps cover bail, legal fees, and other critical costs after an incident. So if you carry or care about protecting what you love, visit usconcealedcarry.com. and see why peace of mind is part of being prepared. It's my sponsors that allow me to do this podcast, so please support them. Before we get into the gear and tactics, let's start where all safety begins, your mindset. Your brain is your first weapon, and it's your most powerful one. When people think about self-defense, they picture fighting or using a weapon, but 90% of personal safety is mental. It's what happens before anything ever goes wrong. You've probably heard the phrase situational awareness. That's just a fancy term for paying attention. But I want to go deeper than that. Let's talk about mental rehearsal. There's a simple trick I teach my students. It's called the when-then method. It's not if something happens, it's when. When that happens, then this is what I'll do. So we'll rehearse if we're hiking alone and we see someone parking near the trailhead that gives me a weird feeling. You're going to rehearse when I feel uncomfortable, then I'll immediately turn around and trust that instinct. Or you think in your mind, maybe I'm jogging with an earbud in and a car slows down beside me. I'm going to rehearse. When a car slows down, then I'll move to the other side of the road and get the license plate. It's like preloading your brain to make decisions faster under stress. That's exactly how military and law enforcement train, through mental conditioning. You don't want to figure out what to do while something's happening. You have to already know. Now let's talk about complacency. Most people get hurt not because they don't know what to do, but because they think it won't happen to me. That phrase is the enemy of awareness. You don't have to walk around scared, but you should walk around awake. Before you hit the trail, think about, where are the exits? Is this a populated or remote area? What time does it get dark? Do I have service out here? Who knows I'm here? I've seen far too many cases where people didn't tell anyone where they were going. So if something goes wrong, no one knows where to look. Even just texting a friend, hey, I'm hitting the trail at 7. If you don't hear from me by 10, check in. That can literally save your life. That's what preparation looks like. It's quiet, calm, and deliberate. And here's the secret. The more prepared you are, the calmer you stay under pressure. Because your brain says, I've already thought this through. It says, when I haven't seen a trail marker in a while, I'm going to stop, breathe, and check my map, my compass, or my GPS. When my gut tightens around a person, dog, or situation, then I'm going to turn around to people, daylight, with no apology needed. And when I tweak an ankle, then I'm going to sit, assess, and plan, not power through. Preparation isn't paranoia, it's self-respect. Tell someone your route and ETA. Share your location if you can. And remember, pick a reliable check-in buddy. You message them daily. If you miss one, they start the call for help process. It's simple and it's powerful. So ask yourself right now, do I have a plan for when things go wrong? If your answer is no, start simple. Tonight, write down 3 when-then scenarios. 1 for being followed, 1 for getting lost, and 1 for feeling unsafe. Train your brain before your body ever needs to respond. You're giving your brain a playbook, so when adrenaline kicks in, it doesn't freeze, it acts. The military, law enforcement, even airline pilots train this way. They don't wing it, they build reflexes. And that's what I want for you, to be so mentally clear that your safety responses are second nature. And that doesn't just apply to danger. It applies to getting lost, injured, or stranded. Knowing your route, telling someone where you're going, dropping a location pin, these are all small mental habits that keep you ahead of the curve. And here's something I want you to remember. Preparation isn't paranoia, it's self-respect. You deserve to come home safe from the things you love doing. Now let's talk about what you carry. Your gear is your lifeline, but only if it's practical, tested, and accessible. Here's what I recommend every hiker or trail runner carry, no matter the distance. Keep it accessible. You should be able to reach it in 3 seconds. First is your first aid kit. Pack more than just Band-Aids. Pack Band-Aids, antiseptic wipes, blister treatment, a small tube of muscle relaxant or pain relief gel, an ankle or knee support or wrap, and any personal medications, especially allergy meds or EpiPens. Your navigation tools. Never rely solely on your phone. Cell service disappears quickly in the woods, so carry a physical map of the area with key landmarks highlighted. A compass, and actually know how to use it. A GPS app with offline maps downloaded before you leave. If your phone dies, you should still be able to orient yourself the old school way. Lighting. Bring a headlamp or flashlight and extra batteries. A lot of rescues happen because people underestimate daylight. The sun drops faster than you think. Carry a multi-tool or Swiss knife. You'd be amazed how many problems can be solved with a good multi-tool. Cutting, repairing, prying, even first aid tasks. Carry an emergency whistle. Sound carries farther than a voice. 3 short blasts are the universal distress signal. A fire starter. Carry a lighter or waterproof matches. A small flame can provide heat, signal rescue, and prevent hypothermia. Carry a space blanket. It weighs nothing. It saves lives. It can retain body heat. It serves as a shelter or even signals aircrafts. And your food and water, always carry extra. Even if you're only out for a couple of hours. Plan for delays. Bring high-energy snacks like nuts, jerky, dried fruit, or energy bars. So all right, now let's move from your mind to your body, because the truth is your body is a tool too. And you don't have to be 6'2" or bench press 200 pounds to be capable, but you do need to be in command of your body. That means strength, balance, and endurance. If someone tries to grab you, your ability to move, twist, and stay on your feet can make the difference between getting away or getting hurt. So start with what fits your lifestyle. Walking, lifting, stretching. You're not training to win a fight. You're training to stay alive and stay sharp. And when fatigue hits, your judgment drops. So take the pause, shorten the day. Pride can wait, safety can't. Now let's talk gear. I always tell my students, carry your equalizer, your tools. My favorite, pepper spray. It's small, discreet, and it's one of the few tools that levels the playing field without taking a life. When used correctly, it gives you space, distance, and time. 3 things that can save your life. But here's the catch. You have to practice. If you carry pepper spray, practice taking it out, aiming it, and deploying it. Know where the safety is. Know how far it sprays, because under stress, you'll do what you've trained. If your pepper spray is buried at the bottom of your purse, backpack, whatever, it's useless. You need it accessible in your hand, on your wristband, or on your back strap. If you can't reach it in 3 seconds, it's not a defensive tool, it's a decoration. And that goes for anything else you carry. Your flashlight, your alarm, your keys, even your phone. Practice grabbing it with your non-dominant hand. Practice shouting "stop" with your full voice. Practice how you draw that pepper spray or alarm while moving. I call it micro rehearsals. It's 30 seconds that could save your life. When you understand how your tool works, it becomes confidence, not fear. And confidence changes your body language. When you move like you're prepared, people notice. Predators, human or animal, read posture, pace, and awareness. When you look alert and grounded, they move on to an easier target. Another simple tool is a personal alarm. It's loud, it draws attention, and it can disorient an attacker long enough for you to escape. Pair that with a flashlight, not just for visibility, but for control. Bright light buys you space and time. If you're in a darker area, shining a beam directly towards someone's chest or face can reset the power dynamic instantly. I carry one with a strobe setting. You hit the strobe and suddenly you're no longer the passive one. And then there's weapons of opportunity, improvised weapons. If you don't have a pepper spray handy, improvise. Look around, a stick, a pen, a rock. Everything can be a tool when you think like a protector. You're trying to create space. Your environment is your armory. You just have to stay aware enough to see it. It's not about winning a fight, it's about disrupting one. So ask yourself, could I reach what I need in 3 seconds? Do I train my body like it's in my insurance policy? If not, start today. Pick one thing, 10 minutes of training. Practice your spray draw or test your flashlight. Next time you hit the trail, test yourself. Can you grab what you need in 3 seconds? If not, change your setup. Now let's shift to awareness and instinct, the part of safety that most people underestimate. Because here's the truth, your instincts are ancient and they're accurate. Ever felt that gut drop when someone stands too close behind you? Or that weird tension when a trail suddenly feels off, even though nothing obvious is happening? That's your body talking. You don't need to justify it, explain it, or rationalize it. Just trust it. That's your survival system. If you feel eyes on you, if your stomach tightens, if your brain suddenly says, don't go there, then listen. Your instincts are trying to protect you. Don't override that feeling because you're afraid of looking rude or paranoid. I'd rather have you trust your intuition and be wrong than ignore it and regret it later. That's not weakness, that's wisdom. We're trained, especially women, to be polite, to downplay discomfort, but politeness has no place in personal safety. If something feels off, leave. If someone makes you uneasy, create distance. If your gut says turn around, do it. I once worked with a woman who ignored her gut because she didn't want to seem rude. She was followed for a half a mile on a trail before she finally sprinted to her car. Thankfully, she got away, but she said the worst part wasn't the fear. It was realizing her body warned her 10 minutes before her brain listened. Your intuition is your built-in radar. Use it. And your visual awareness. Look around. Make eye contact with people you pass. When you acknowledge people, you're sending a message. I see you. I'm aware. I'm not an easy target. Eye contact is confidence. Predators look for easy, distracted prey. If you're alert, they move on. When I'm hiking or walking alone, I greet people. A quick, hey, how's it going? It's not about being friendly. It's about being seen. And here's the truth. Most people are good, but awareness helps you identify the ones who aren't before they get close. When you're alone on a trail, avoid isolated blind corners, dense bushes, or spots with no escape routes. Keep one earbud out. Notice who's behind you. Notice if someone's pacing your speed. If anything feels off, you don't owe anyone an explanation. Turn around and go. You are your own security detail. Scan for blind spots, bends, thick brush, secluded pull-offs. Avoid lingering there. Don't sit in your car on your phone at the trailhead. That's when you're most vulnerable, parked, distracted, and unaware. When you're returning to your car, stop 10 feet back and scan the surroundings. Look under the vehicle in the back seat and around the lot before unlocking it. If someone's hanging around, don't approach. Turn around, re-enter the trail area, or go back to people. And let's talk about running or walking alone. If you love solitude, I get it. But solitude and secrecy are two different things. You can be alone without being accounted for. Tell someone your route, drop a pin, share your live location. There are safety apps that will track your movement and alert contacts if you stop moving unexpectedly. Even wearing a bright color can make a difference, not just for visibility to drivers, but for witnesses. If something does happen, details matter. So ask yourself, when was the last time I trusted my gut? And it turned out I was right. Write that down. That memory is proof that your instincts work. The more you trust them, the sharper they get. And we can't forget nature. Nature has its own dangers, wildlife, terrain, weather. If you're in bear country, bring spray, make noise and stay alert. If you're hiking remote, carry a whistle or signal mirror. If storms are forecasted, don't push your luck. Preparedness is never overkill. It's self-preservation. So ask yourself, what does my intuition feel like in my body? Does it show up as a tight chest, a gut pull, or a feeling of pressure? Learn that language because that's your early warning sign. One of the easiest ways people get into trouble outdoors is by losing track of where they are. So let's go through some practical navigation habits. Before your hike, familiarize yourself with the trail map. Highlight key markers and landmarks. Learn to use your compass, not just north-south, but how to orient it to a map. Don't rely 100% on GPS. Batteries die, signals drop. Always have a backup. Download offline maps before you go. And practice all this before you head out into remote terrain. Pay attention to trail markers. If you haven't seen one in a while, stop and reassess. Check your location regularly. Don't wait until you're lost. Stay on marked trails. Avoid shortcuts or unofficial paths. And if you're with a group, stay together. Most search and rescue calls start with, "We got separated." Carry a power bank. Verify your app works offline. Paper map plus compass still work when glass and lithium don't, but only if you truly know how to use them. All right, worst case scenario, you're lost. Here's your survival checklist. You'll conserve energy, stay safe, and increase your odds of rescue. Stop walking, take a breath, observe, plan. Don't compound the error by wandering. Take a breath. Panic burns time and calories. Observe. Pinpoint your last known good point. Backtrack calmly if safe. And if not, stay put and make yourself visible. Use your whistle, if you have one, 3 blasts, a mirror or reflective signal, or bright items laid out, a flashlight at night. Make yourself findable. Here's the part most people miss. How you carry yourself can determine whether or not someone targets you. Your posture, pace, and energy communicates before your words do. Walk like you belong. Head up, shoulders back, eyes scanning naturally. Not tense, just aware. When you greet someone, do it confidently. A nod, eye contact, a firm tone. You're signaling awareness, not aggression. That simple shift changes how others perceive you. This isn't about acting tough. It's about projecting competence. The more competent you are, the less likely you are to be chosen as a target. That's the psychology behind becoming a hard target. So on your next walk or run, practice that posture. Notice how people respond differently. Awareness is contagious. It makes you a leader in your environment. And hydration isn't just about water. It's about timing. Drink small sips regularly, even if you're not thirsty. Dehydration sneaks up fast, especially in cool weather when you don't feel hot. And your trail safety routine before, during, and after. So before your trail, check your route and daylight hours. Tell someone where you're going. Check your gear. Warm up mentally and physically. During your walk, keep your head up, one earbud out. Greet with confidence. Stay alert to your surroundings, your vehicles, and sounds. Trust your gut. Leave if you need to. And after your trail walk, get in your car and lock it immediately. Don't linger on the phone. Text your safety contact that you're back and review what you noticed. Awareness builds habits. And let's talk about something that catches even experienced hikers off guard: overconfidence. Here's how to protect your body before and during hikes. Break in your hiking shoes before the trip. Blisters can end your day fast. Use trekking poles on steep descents to protect your knees. Carry ankle wraps or muscle support bands. Stretch before and after your hike. Take breaks in shaded areas and know your limits. If you're tired or sore, stop. Pain is information. Listen to it. One of the biggest safety mistakes people make is pushing through fatigue just to finish. That's pride. That's not survival. If you need to cut the hike short, that's strength, not weakness. If you're on the trail seeing sheep, goats, cattle, or horses, assume a guard dog may be near. In popular zones, many are trained and chill, but in remote areas, some are protective. You want to stop and read the dog. If the dog postures, barks, or blocks, don't have any sudden movements. You slowly angle wide around the herd. You keep your trekking poles in front to make space, not to poke. Don't run or challenge. And if trails are overgrown and you can't see 10 to 20 meters ahead, clap or call out periodically to avoid surprising wildlife, especially moms with young ones. Campsite selection: avoid water sources and game trails. Look like narrow, worn paths with tracks and scat. Trees with dead overhead branches, widowmakers. Depressions or washes that flood in storms. Choose durable ground with wind and water in mind. And your adrenaline plus edges equal risk. Wind, loose rock, or a heavy pack can shift your balance. If you approach an edge, remove your pack. Keep 3 points of contact or just don't go. If you're on wet rock or loose gravel, short, deliberate steps, hands free. Rivers after a storm, avoid if swift or swollen. And watch your forecasts and seasonal conditions. In late spring, early summer, high roots can still hold snow. Don't commit if you're not equipped. If there's thunderstorms, stay below the tree line. After heavy rain, rivers and streams may be uncrossable. And during the dry season, heed wildfire notices and expect some water sources to be dry. Nature throws curveballs, cliffs, rivers, unstable terrain, so stay away from ledges. Keep your hands for balance on steep or rocky terrain. Don't cross those fast-moving rivers. Take small, deliberate steps on gravel. And if you feel unsafe or fall, stop and reset your footing. And here's the big one, stay calm. Panic leads to bad decisions. Take a break, think logically, then act. If you're truly stuck, it's safer to stay visible and signal for help than to wander deeper. And if you're going solo, you want a check-in buddy. Pick one person you must message daily. If you miss a check-in, they start the alert process. Simple, powerful. If you're new to solo, build reps with groups first. Find local hunting clubs, trail maintenance crews, or social groups. Learn the area with people who know it. And most hikers are good people. Still, if a public campground feels off, consider a discreet, out of sight, dispersed site away from roads and houses. When you check GPS or text, stop walking. People sprain ankles, poke eyes, or step on snakes because the screen stole their attention. And carry 1 to 2 extra days of food in remote zones. Pack some no-cook items in case your stove fails or attempts kill canister pressure. A lot of people ask me, Jody, is it safe to hike alone? And the honest answer is, it can be if you prepare correctly. And here's what I do when I'm out solo. I inform someone of where I'm going. I carry an air tag or share my location. I choose well-marked or popular trails. I download offline maps. I hike only during daylight, and I keep emergency numbers and local rescue numbers saved. If you're solo, your margin for error is smaller, so your discipline has to be higher. That means extra hydration, better navigation, and constant self-check-ins. You can absolutely enjoy solitude, just don't do it recklessly. Here's something I've learned from years of training and teaching. When you're calm, you think clearer. When you panic, you get lost, mentally and physically. So whatever happens, breathe. Count your breaths, slow your pulse, and assess. You can handle more than you think. You just have to slow down enough to make the right call. Safety isn't about strength, it's about strategy. So let's bring it home. Staying safe on the trail isn't about being scared, it's about being smart. Your brain is your first weapon, your body is your vehicle, and your tools are your equalizer. Put them together and you can move through the world differently. You walk taller, you breathe easier, you project strength. And that's the goal, not to hide from danger, but to live boldly and safely on your own terms. So next time you hit the trail, remember, plan your route, tell someone where you're going, carry your equalizer, and trust your instincts. You are your own first responder. You're not powerless, you're prepared. Safety on the trail isn't about being scared, it's about being skilled. Your brain is your plan. So before your next hike or run, ask yourself, do I have a plan, the tools, and the mindset to come home safe? If you can say yes, you're already ahead of 90% of the people out there. And if you want to learn how to take this to the next level, how to build tactical confidence, awareness, and everyday readiness, check out rangeofreality.com. That's where I teach these real-world skills, not theory, but tactics you can use today. You'll find training videos, scenario breakdowns, and downloadable safety checklists, including the trail safety checklist from this episode. rangeofreality.com, or you can find the links in the show notes. Until next time, stay alert, stay strong, and as always, stay dangerous in the right way.